Let's speak now to BBC Arabic's Issam Ikamawi. Issam, hello to you. What more do we know about this attempt to free the two men?
The operation took place sometime last night, early this morning. Apparently there was another operation, a failed operation last month, which failed to free the American hostage or kidnapper. What we know from local sources that 11 members of Al-Qaeda have been killed in today's operation. The special forces were operating in the area. There were sounds of explosions going on and fighting. And then the American Summers was taken away alive and died later of his wounds. This is as far as we know in terms of the nature of the operation. There was a warning apparently 2-3 days ago by someone called Nasser Al-Ansi, he seems to be the top commander of Al-Qaeda, threatening to execute the American photojournalist if there was going to be a repeat of the operation which had happened last month. And he said that the Americans know our demands, what our demands are, without revealing what these demands might be.
And certainly it does appear as if the militants who were holding the two hostage were responsible for the actual killing during the operation.
This is what we learned so far, that they were shot before the rescue team could get to them. And when the rescue team arrived on the scene, they had already been injured and died of their injuries later.
Well, this is Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, of course, who, in a sense, Islamic State in Iraq and Syria have almost appeared to have pushed Al-Qaeda back and have been more ruthless. Is there any sense that this is Al-Qaeda attempting almost to sort of come back in their own way?
Well, Al-Qaeda has been taking a back seat lately because all the focus has been on the Islamic State or ISIS or ISIL in Syria and Iraq. So Al-Qaeda hasn't really been in the news lately. I mean, Al-Qaeda has received a blow when Osama bin Laden was killed. It looks like Ayman al-Zawahiri is unable to control Al-Qaeda. And also, we're not talking about a homogeneous, organized body. We're talking about franchise, people who believe in certain ideology. However, they have received a setback since ISIS emerged in terms of recruits and also coverage, because these groups, they thrive on propaganda and the media and things like that. So Al-Qaeda has been very much in the shadow lately. So possibly this kind of thing would give it a little comeback, if you may, in terms of recruits, because these people are always looking for recruits to come and join them. Their appeal is about how ruthless and radical they are.
And how much was this operation, the kidnapping and the holding of them, political versus criminal? Because it is quite interesting that it does seem as if they were about to release the South American, but presumably there had been some sort of negotiation, but the British-born American Luke Summers was clearly not being released, and indeed the Americans thought he was in imminent danger.
Yes, I mean, we know for instance, from ISIS that a number of European countries have paid ransom for their citizens to be released. Probably we're seeing a similar pattern in the Yemen, although kidnapping of foreigners in the Yemen goes way back to the 80s, when the local tribes used to kidnap Westerners only for their own government to pay them off, and then they would release them. But I think we're seeing a shift to a new territory here.
Okay, well, Issam, thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you.